Alright, time now is 8:31 a.m. in the morning on August 6th. We're 11 days away from leaving. I slept from 4:40 till 8:15. So that's 3.5 hours. Wow, 3.5. Love it. I love it. Yes. Woohoo. I feel rejuvenated. I feel so good. 3.5 hours, baby. So, fuck. So yeah, I really gotta go to sleep earlier tonight. But the good thing is tomorrow I don't have to wake up too early. So if I go to sleep earlier and wake up later for tomorrow, then I'll have a little bit more sleep. But fuck me, 3.5. Can't believe I'm waking up for this shit. So, yeah, day one of the shoot, day one of the short film shoot. I asked for this, okay? I decided to make this short film. I asked for this, okay? So yeah, we'll see. And today's gonna be really simple. We're only filming 9 shots today. 9 shots in 9 hours. I have a feeling that we're gonna wrap super early because 9 shots is really gonna go by super fast. Last night, right before bed, I was trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with my camera. I'm trying to switch it back from PAL to NTSC so that I could film in 24 frames per second. And for some reason it didn't work. Whenever I changed to NTSC, it doesn't change to 24 frames. It just stays at 25. And I tried many times. I even went to Reddit and asked for help. And then, of course, after I did that, it suddenly worked again. So, yeah. Still no gimbal, which is fucked up. And just now, the reason why I had a little pause when I was just filming this right now, Jesus Christ, my hair. Jesus Christ, leave me alone, okay. My mom's company's colleague Jay just told me that he doesn't have a gimbal either. Why does nobody fucking have a gimbal in this world? So I don't know what to do, honestly. At this point, I don't really know what to do. I need to have a gimbal for the afternoon, so that's important. And then yeah, we're filming 3 scenes today. 1 at home, 1 at the Taiwan, which is gonna be fun. That's gonna be a fun scene to shoot. And then 1 at the mysterious hidden garden on day 1. Ooh. Again, impossible to do without a gimbal. Also, my teaser trailer is still blowing up. Like, Carly, holy fuck, Carly, out of all people, commented fire. Which is, oh, okay. Lizzie commented, and then Alwa, remember her, producer of WoW, suddenly DM'd me saying, hey, I saw your short film with Cliff as DP, because of course Cliff is like the icon here. I'm just wondering if it's up somewhere. No, it's not. We still haven't done the festival run thing. but I'm glad to see my short film teaser trailer getting so much attention when it's just a teaser trailer. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Gotta fix the gimbal issue. Holy balls.
少少。你敷係敷塊面。
有啲好嘢啊！
Cut.
驚什麼你真係？你唔好喐啊！我係幫你攞90濃度嘅酒精，我倒啲落去得唔得啊？早啲。
啲運動員翻。
鐘落雨喎，
好彩啦！
咁佢
而家2點鐘
都講唔中，哦1點馬差。
係啊，
我咁都覺得幾早㗎。
我呢個唔係香港天文台。
B roll 唔係呢邊有天文台。
Zero 呢啲。
C roll 係 C roll。
黃霑啊，香港文化就好睇到當時嘅香港文化啦。
我好肯定啊！啱先粒冰冰波彈到某個地方，我就會去到一個碼。不過都係嚟緊呢兩日都應該要停車。
頭先貼咗呢度。
有冇查過咩品種啊？
冇啊。
唔似咯，冇起針咯。佢都冇針。
但唔使烏前，烏翻後望住，係啦，OK。哎呀！
留心。
Cut。
點啊？陣間你會。做到啲咩啊？我覺得佢係全熟啊！實你都熟我一間先。啱先真係有粒冰冰波喺空中消失咗。我覺得喺呢度。你肯定？係啊。咁我哋不如睇下。好啊。
係。
而家放牌俾人啊！
我有啲犯罪證據。犯罪證據我有。
幾長喎，點咯？
係啊，有陣到呢個位。
點堆人喺度？
我肚痛。And action。
算啦，我哋都揾唔到。哎。
打亂我陣法。
肌肉。
你做咩啊？
Does the smoke actually work?
真係有。
Actually?
中啊有煙啦！而家咁樣中8點多。
唔好整爛我部機，唔好整爛我 lens。
呢個可唔可以幫我攞個左邊？OK，唔該。嗰個8點嘅頭位，限頭位。最快先。係幾好睇。因為個 lens flare 啱啱好太陽喺嗰度。
你移一移啊！你移一移，睇下可能 lens flare 會冇。如果你移一移嘅話，
啱先得。都有都有，因為個射正啊而家，但我覺得幾好睇喎。
OK，
你唔中意喎
OK 啦。
打翻好呢個。
Time now is 7:55 p.m. On August 6th. Yeah, let's talk about today. Day 1 of The World Is Not Enough. Day 1 of my 8th short film. Oh my god, I don't know. I don't know. I have so many things to say, and I don't know where to start. I think, yeah, I think, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I think, first of all, I woke up at 8:15 and I was tired as fuck. And in the morning, I was like half awake and my mom is already outside. And again, I really fucking hate it when I don't have enough sleep and I wake up and there's people in front of me. But I had to suck it up. And I was like frustrated already in the morning. I think right now, maybe part of the reason why right now I don't feel so good, like I don't feel so happy, is because I didn't wake up happy. Like, usually the mood of a day is determined by the mood you have right off the bat on the day, and unfortunately this morning I was not happy. I wasn't nervous, I was just a little frustrated, I guess. So I woke up at 8:15. I brushed my teeth and I'm already like, I saw my mom pushing my brother's luggage from the living room to her own room, and I don't like that. Like, I know it's a bad idea to have strangers come into our apartment, and well, not exactly strangers, but like people who are not close to us, and have the apartment be messy. But the thing is, this is filmmaking. This is called set dressing. My mom yesterday cleaned up the apartment really well. It's really clean and tidy. It looks very nice and polished, and that's fucking bad. It doesn't feel like an apartment, you know? It just feels like a set, you know? It fucking sucks. So, when I woke up, I tried to make it messier. Yesterday, my helper was like, do you want the luggage here? And I'm like, sure. Even though the luggage isn't always there, but I think adding a little luggage in front of a white cabinet, you know, adds texture. But this morning, I just saw my mom moving my props without my permission. And I know she's my mom, and I know it's our apartment. It's just frustrating, and I'm like, fine. But I still managed to, like, quote unquote set dress the apartment a little bit. I moved some bits and pieces here and there, and it was, you know, I tried my very best to make it look a little messier, a little bit more lived in. This is too fucking clean and perfect. So anyways, I brushed my teeth, and not too long later, before I even had breakfast, before I even had time to sort of collect myself and everything, I already received a WhatsApp from, so we have two actors, two young boys. One is, I guess I'm just gonna call them by their English names. One is Lewis and the other's name is Hugo. Hugo is the other boy whom I've never seen before. Lewis is the boy who played young Jason. So Hugo said he's here already at like 8:17 a.m. And I'm like, wow, okay, wait for a moment. Not 8:17, like 8 something. And then a while later, the AD guy already showed up, and he took a photo and sent it to me and was like, hey, is this right? And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm coming down. So there was a moment there where I wavered. It's not that I thought about just quitting the whole short film immediately and canceling the whole thing suddenly. It's more like, holy shit, what the fuck am I doing? I'm bringing all these random people whom I just met or isn't really close with to my apartment, my living space that I've been living for so many years, for almost 1.5 decades, maybe already 1.5 decades, and just for some stupid short film, and I'm spending thousands of dollars on this. Like, what the fuck am I doing? What am I getting myself into? Like, it was just like, it just feels wrong and feels weird, you know? So I went downstairs and I found them both. And then in the far distance, I already saw Natalie from LMU. Now, this is the first time a character I've met from America turned up in Hong Kong. And the thing is, because Natalie from LMU, the thing is, I've only seen her for one day, so it wasn't like consolidated as a character, you know? It's not like if I see Potter in Hong Kong, it would be like a little weird. Like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing here? Even crazier if like non-Hong Kongers show up in Hong Kong. If Michelle comes to Hong Kong, it's like, you know, glitch in the Matrix. But anyways, Natalie's here, and I'm just like, oh my god, wow. Like, this is like different universes colliding. And then from a distance, I saw Lewis, the boy who played young Jason, and I believe his mother. They're here, they're fine and dandy, everyone's energetic, I guess, and they're eating breakfast. And I'm like, holy shit, what have I done? I just brought a bunch of random people together and told them to do my short film. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm insane. I'm psychotic. Like, what am I doing? So I took them all into my lobby. The security guard was like, who are these people? And I'm like, oh no, we're just filming. And I'm taking them to my place, our place, and they entered it. And I just thought, oh my god, is my mom gonna be here? Is my helper gonna be here? They were both here. And everything was cleaned, and they sat on the chairs. I had my wooden chair. I usually don't let anyone else sit it because it's clean and it's for me only. But I let Natalie sit there, and I let Chunhua sit there. I let Chunhua place a tripod on it at some point, but it's fine. So they're all in my place now, and they're all there. Natalie from LMU is my place. Somehow the first person from the entire American saga to ever step foot in my apartment is Natalie from LMU. The only person from the Conspiracies era, aka the secondary school era, to have ever stepped foot in my own apartment is Cedric, I believe. So this is fucking weird. I feel weird. Everything's weird. But I was chill. Like, I tried to come off chill. Even though in the morning I was tired, I'm still tired right now. And I'm like, okay. Like, in front of people, I smile. I'm like, okay, sit down, you know, relax. I tried to be charismatic, but god fucking damn, if only I could just imagine a short film in my head, and then it becomes real. Instead of having actors and producers and the cameras and equipment and time and money and the whole fiasco. Like, what am I doing, man? Oh my god. So eventually, Chunhua showed up. I went downstairs, picked him up, we came here. And it was nice at first, you know. At first it was a little bit of a mixer. Like, not mixer, but it was like, we're just sitting down, we're just chatting for a little bit. And that's nice, and that's great, because I hate it when a crew, especially a crew from my short film, come together and we're immediately forced to just start working. Like, we have a little warm-up, you know. I explained the plot, and honestly, despite how artsy and abstract the whole plot is, it was not that difficult for me to explain. It was still very weird, and they were like, what does this mean? And I'm like, just believe in it. So we shot scene 3, and my mom's hiding in her bedroom. Fuck, there are a bunch of insert shots I forgot to take. It's okay, we'll do that tomorrow. That is A-O-freaking-K. But yeah, the first take, it was Louis smiling in the hallway, and that took like how many freaking takes? Chunhua, the thing is, Chunhua, more so than ever, Chunhua is like DEP, even though it's literally his first time in these locations, and he's not in pre-production with me, but he has full control of my Sony a7 III. I basically gave him my Sony a7 III. And he came up with the angles, and I'm like, that's not exactly how I want it. And yeah, directing children is tough. The first few takes was nice because I was like, okay, let's try something different. Let's try something different. Imagine what you would do if this happens. Like, the shot is really simple. He sees his own reflection on a mirror and he makes a silly face like, but he never does it right. He turns, walks away. Like, that's not acting. You're just doing what you're being told. So I had to, okay, let's switch things up, you know, let's try this, try that. And eventually it did work, but whenever it works, it's usually like an accident. Like, he suddenly tried something new, and it came off kind of natural. And then we have the second shot, which was the CCTV shot, and the framing was nice. But again, oh my god, this was even tougher. Like, directing kids, I don't know how Koreeda did it. I don't know how Sean Baker does it. I don't know how Justine Triet did it in Anatomy of a Fall. Like, how did you manage to direct children? Because, oh my god, it's so tough. Like, they don't really know how to act. They're already child actors, but they're Hong Kong style child actors, so, or more like just like shitty kids show actors. Like, oh my god, hey, what are you doing? I am in the kitchen, come here. Okay, like, that's fucking fake as fuck. How do I make it natural, you know? So I made it natural. Again, it was only an accident. Also, for a long time, the sound didn't even work. Like, thank God I was like, oh, can we hear playback? Can we hear the sound? Thank God I said that. Otherwise, we would have, like, it would have been completely muted today, and then I would have canceled the short film. But yeah, we tried the Hollyland wired mic. For some reason, there was a lot of weird windy noise, so we tried the Rode wireless mic. That worked. And then we just went, and then we had one more shot of the kitchen, long take. We tried a mirror shot and it didn't really work out. So long take, not long take, it was tracking shot. That also took a bajillion takes. Again, like, usually I direct really fast. Usually when I'm filming people, 3-4 takes, boom, next shot. 3-4 takes, boom, next shot. But with these two kids, I have to keep pushing, like, up to 9, 10, 11 takes, because they keep fucking up. Their line is weird, their line delivery is weird, the blocking is weird. Like, directing kids, it's like, it's really tough. It's really, really tough. And to be honest, I'm an amateur director. I don't know jack shit about filmmaking. And directing kids is a very bold choice for me. When Chunhua was in the elevator and I explained that there are 2 kids upstairs, and he's like, kids? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, what? I was expecting somebody similar to our age. And I was like, no, don't you realize when you were reading the script that the lines were childish? But the fucking problem is that when I wrote the script, I was envisioning these kids as 7 and 8 year olds, you know, pure, innocent. Oh, look, that's so pretty. Oh, look, ice cream. Do you want ice cream? Here, have one. Haha, you know, like Florida Project. Maybe that's a bad comparison, because Florida Project kids are they act pretty mature. like Monster from Koreeda, you know. But these kids we're dealing with today and tomorrow, they're 11 and 12-year-old. They're totally different type of kids. They're rebellious. They're like, they swear. They say things like "fuck you." They have a wealthy vocabulary of Cantonese swears. They fight. They make crazy ass references, like sexual references. And I'm not terribly surprised. When I was 11 and 12, sure, I didn't make, like, I don't even know what sex is. I don't even swear. I didn't swear until I was, well, to be fair, I did start swearing around like 12, 13, but like, yeah, they were way more mature for their ages, and they're very rebellious. So I try to make them feel comfortable. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, this is a very strict film set. You can't joke around. You have to follow the rules. I tried to make it lighthearted. Hey, you can improvise. Hey, maybe try this line. Maybe try that line. I tried to joke around. But because of that, they were led to a kind of coziness. And so they started to take it less seriously. And sure, they do try to act, but in between takes, they would fight. And then when I said, oh, let's go for another take, they would be like, no, screw you. No, let me rest. Like, and then they would like, oh, instead of saying your line, how about I say, I want to eat shit. How about I say, fuck you? You know, instead of saying whatever line you're trying to make me say, how about I say, you know, some terrible thing in Cantonese? And I'm like, haha, that's funny. Let's not do that. Like, it's really tough. It's really fucking tough. So anyways, we shot that scene, and that took a while. And then we all had lunch. It's great that we can all immediately have lunch after the first scene. It's so chill like that. And the lunch was $700. What the fuck? I planned to have like in my head I was planning 400, but it turned 700. My mom ordered it, and it was boxes of like rice and egg and vegetables, and it was not bad. It was actually a pretty nice lunch. But Jesus. So we had lunch and we chilled. And lunches are great on film sets because it's a moment where everyone can sort of interact. You know, on Live and Death Day 3, the lunch saved it. Let's be honest here. When I shot Love and Death, like, if it weren't for the lunch, it would have been very awkward. I would have been, like, crying due to insecurity. But after lunch, and, you know, after Ray Chan and Emily, they talked, and I and Emily, we also talked, and this other guy who helped us, like, we had a better bond, so the rest of the shoot felt smoother because we bonded over lunch. And it kind of was like that during lunch for us. I talked to Natalie from LMU a lot. Like, holy shit, Natalie from LMU, there's a lot of, like, similarities between us, actually. She doesn't drive. She doesn't have a driver's license. And she's forever stuck around LMU. She also mentioned to me that she's interested in filming stuff in 2028 Olympics. And I'm like, holy shit, I have the same thought. Like, when I saw fencing, I wanted to make a fencing documentary. So, oh my god, like, maybe we both could collab, who knows. And then we also have similar thoughts on, like, filmmaking in America. Natalie is great. Even though, for the most part today, Natalie didn't really do much. Like, she was just mostly sitting at the side. She even fell asleep. The other guy, who was a PA, who was friends with the AD guy, he also fell asleep, and they were snoring at some point, which is fun crazy. I had 3.5 hours of sleep, and I was energetic as fuck today. I was concentrated. I'm locked in, you know. God. But yeah, and then with Chunhua, it's so crazy. I have immense trust issues. So with Chunhua, even though I've worked with him several times already, it was still like, does he think I'm an idiot? Like, you know. But we sat next to each other while we had lunch, and we actually talked, and I was more like genuine. and he casually mentioned it to me that his friend, who I saw when I was at Diamond Hill filming for my mom's company, his friend, the guy with the hat, actually wrote and directed a short film, thesis film for Baptist University Film Academy, and that short film got shortlisted at the Student Shorts Academy Awards in America. What the fuck? That's a huge fucking deal. That's big. So I'm like, man, I'm interested in seeing it. And then I was like, artsy shit, it's good, I like artsy stuff, So there's that bonding, and it was a nice lunch. But after that, that was when things go a little downhill. So originally today we are filming scenes 3, 13, 12. We ended up filming 3, 1, 13. And the reason being is 12 is Taionlo. And if we have to film there, we need to 100% have a gimbal. We don't have a gimbal. And so the plan is we're just going to go with that one today. We're just going to film a bunch of scenes that don't need a gimbal, and it can be done either handheld or tripod. So we decided to do one, which is downstairs playground, very iconic location. So after lunch we went down there, and we were thinking, oh, it's going to be hot as fuck. But we went down there and it's windy, and there were some serious dark clouds. And it's funny, we went there and we weren't kicked out, like nobody stopped us from filming. But instead, there was a bunch of secondary schoolers filming stuff with their own phone. Wow. Youthful. Juvenile. Wow. Simple days. So I blocked, I did the blocking, and I looked at the camera position with Chunhua. Chunhua was really active. He was like, okay, let's set the camera here, and I really like that. There was at least a little passion there. Now that justifies me paying Chunhua $500 per day. But once again, Natalie's just sitting in a bench. At some point it started raining, and I was like, okay, let's just hide. So we maybe spent half an hour just hiding under the shade from the rain. And I was like, oh, maybe we can take some B-roll. We can take some footage. But yeah. And then after the rain, just when I thought we could continue filming this scene. By the way, we only have about 2 hours filming this scene. We went downstairs at around 1:20, and in the plan it was like, okay, at around 3:20 we company move. We already spent like half an hour waiting out the rain. And then as we are about to continue filming, Luis, who played young Jason before, who's playing Hong now, he started feeling sick. He started feeling dizzy. Now that might be because he just went on a spinny thing and he felt sick after that. Or it's a heat stroke. So I don't know what's going on. So I gave him some water, and then we halted the shooting. And we spent like an hour not doing anything, or like maybe 45 minutes-ish. I don't know. Time flies. It's a good moment of rest, but it did at that point got really, really sticky and sweaty, and it's really tough. And I understand that for the kids it's tough. For me, I can still stand it because I'm still young and I'm a filmmaker. But oh my god, it went on and on. At some point he had to go to the bathroom, just throw up in the public toilet. And yeah, and then thankfully both Natalie and the other guy, the PA, they didn't have much to do, so they went around. They went back up to this apartment to grab drinks. They Yeah, he went back to grab a new mic because the Rode mic, it's terrible. It's only one out. There's only one output, and I need two outputs because two characters are talking. So we filmed the scene. We practiced so much, and this is when things go downhill, right? I wanted to film a wide shot, and it's the opening scene of the film. It's very important, but it's also very difficult for these kids because there's blocking. It's a wide shot, so it's not like you just stand still. They have to go around. There's also the dialogue, which not only is it abstract, but also they need to deliver it in a natural way. There's also the last piece of the scene where Lewis comes up to the camera and talk to the audience and break the fourth wall. I thought it's a very insane scene, but Chunhua was like, this is very anime, which is nice. It's nice to know that he has a reference point, and it's not like, okay, this Enoch guy is fucking crazy. What kind of scene is this? So instead, given that the kids need to rest, especially Lewis, who's feeling dizzy, I and Chunhua, we went on and did an insert shot of the table tennis ball falling on the ground and disappearing. And then when Lewis was feeling a little bit better, we filmed the eye-opening slow-mo shot. Apparently Chunhua doesn't know that apparently you can do slow-mo in the camera instead of in post. We did the final wide shot, and it was a little bit easier given that we rehearsed it, but holy balls, they keep running around, they keep messing up the lines, they keep joking around, they keep swearing. They kept swearing, and they kept fighting, and it was non-stop. It's like they're never gonna take it seriously. And I was like, let's go for a take, and they don't even hear it. And I tried to like joke around, hey, if you don't go for a take, you know, something's gonna happen. And then at some point, because I had a typo in the script, and instead of saying Ahong goes up to the camera, I said Aijun goes up to the camera, who's the other character. So Aijun was like, oh, you mistyped it, you misled us, you're a liar, you ruined the scene, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, sure. Like I fucking can't do it. I'm not an extrovert. I can't talk to kids too much. A little bit is fine, but this is too much. But yeah, we eventually filmed it. It was fine. It was not the best, but I think it was the best take we could get. Instead of tiring out the entire crew and especially the cast. It was already the best take, but it was not good enough still. The line delivery is just not there. But I think if it's in Cantonese and Americans hear it, they probably won't be able to distinguish that it's not naturalistic. It doesn't feel natural. Anyways, we moved on. We went back to this apartment for an AC break, aircon, and drinks. I had a lemon tea. It was nice. Nice rest. That's good. For the final scene of the day, scene 13, the mysterious hidden garden, the hidden playground. And it was a very hidden playground. We went up there and it looked great. Everything worked well. We had a first shot, and right off the bat, both boys, they've already given up. They're like, I don't want to act, I just want to play table tennis. Because there were two people, a mom and her son maybe, playing table tennis at the side, and they're like, oh, I want to play table tennis. And I'm like, okay, fine, after this take. And they did the take, and it's trash. Like, the camera didn't pan well. The Lewis pointed towards us, even though he's not supposed to point. He's just making actions on his own now. And I'm like, let's go for another take. But you promised us table tennis. And I'm like, yes, but after the shot, not the take. But they can't distinguish between shots and takes. So they did it again, and it's like, fine. And then we planned out a couple more shots, I and Chunhua. Everything worked well, and oh my god, that place is like a haven for mise en scène. Like, every angle you point the camera towards, it looks beautiful because there's so many layers, so many bricks, so many trees and buildings, and it's a very visually interesting place. And it's heartbreaking but also fascinating that today is going to be probably the last day of my entire life to visit this place, because after we move I won't be at this place again. And so today filming there is a great way to it's a great send-off, but it didn't feel like that. It just felt like an exhausting nuisance today. But in a way, by us filming there, it is a beautiful send-off. Anyways, we filmed a glorious wide shot. So the thing is, in the script, scene 13 was really short. They walk out of the door, the camera pans left, and they're like, "Oh, I think it's here. Are you sure?" Yeah, let's go find out. And then they arrive at the playground, and they look around, they walk around, and they're like, "Nah, it's not here. Oh, I'm hungry. I want to eat beef noodles." And the camera pans towards like a yellow metal thing. The end. The end of the scene. But because the pathway from the elevator to the hidden playground is so long, I realized it would be great if we add more shots, because there are so many more interesting framing, so many more interesting things to film. So I came up with this brilliant shot that I came up yesterday, actually, when I quote-unquote visited the set. But the red staircase that goes zigzag, and then they go down to ground level and they pass the camera. It's like 2 minutes long. And then told the boys, "You guys can just improvise." And they're like, "Can we swear? Can we swear?" And I'm like, "Okay, just a little bit, sure." Of course I'm trolling. And they eventually didn't swear, but trying to indulge them a little bit to get them excited while trying my best to not make it go overboard, And so they did it in one take. It was a one take wonder. After one take, I was like, this is perfect. It wasn't extremely natural, but the sound, it was so far away. I think this is like the widest shot I've ever had, or more like the farthest shot I've ever had. Like, the distance between the camera and the talent, the two boys, were probably like one classroom long. It was so long, but miraculously the mic picked it up and it sounded all right. It was a little glitchy when they were behind a cement pillar, but otherwise it was perfect. And then we did 4 more shots, and these 4 shots are they're great, they're beautiful, but the cost, the amount of energy I have to put in all of these shots is tantamount. Because the boys, after this point, they're like, "I'm ready to go home," and they started playing games. And in fact, they were playing phone games all day today, like since the first scene. They were running around, they're fighting. They got too comfortable with me. They start like hitting me, and they're like, "Oh," they started making like gay jokes, like, "Oh, are you gay? Oh, you touch me, are you gay?" Like, "Ooh, homosexual." Like, they started doing these. And it's just like, okay, calm down, So it was one shot, no gimbal, but handheld, where the kids jump around and they just play around, and that's it. And I was like, hey, there's a portal, right? You're looking for a portal. Maybe look up and look down, And then both the boys were like, they said that's retarded. Like, as in mentally disabled, but as a slur. And I'm like, okay, but, okay, like, maybe don't do it then. And then they ignore me. Eventually they did do, like, accidentally, almost as a joke, look for portals. But they were very reluctant to do it. And Chunhua tried his best to like stay on them, but they ran too fast. And Chunhua's like, let's go for another try. And they're like, another one? And then we did 2 gloriously beautiful shots. 2 still shots with the long lens. But these 2 shots, they've already, like, I've completely drained their batteries, and it's insane because we're actually right on time, despite having waited for the rain to be over, despite waiting for Lewis to finish being nauseous. We were still kind of on time. So I filmed them. Running around in 2 different angles. One reverse. They look beautiful, but oh my god, they still have energy. They were running around, yet at the same time, it feels like they don't want to film. They're like, and then after these 2 shots, or more like after 1 shot, it was 2 shots left, not 2 takes, may I remind you, 2 shots left, and I told them this is the second last one, and both of them were like, nah, you keep saying shit like this, and they're never real, you're a liar. Like, I'm like, no, I'm serious. And the thing is, like, they probably think I meant two more takes. I meant 2 more shots, and 1 shot can have many takes. If you fuck up the take, you get another take. So, anyways, we have the last shot, and they've given up. They're like, come on, let's go home. I don't want to do it. And I'm like, please. I show them the script, and it's like, oh, I can't find the portal. Let's go home. I want to eat beef noodles. They were like, oh, and they both were doing this. Oh, I don't want to film this anymore. I think the director, please stop. I don't want to film anymore. Instead of, Ayun, please stop. We can't find it anymore. Oh, let's go home. I want to eat shit. And I'm like, are you really going to say it? And then I'm like, okay, fine. Like, I'm going to count to 3, and then you're going to get into the scene. I don't care what dialogue you're saying, but I didn't say this out loud, but my attitude was like, if you say, I want to eat shit, instead of saying the line that was given to you, we're just going to have to make you do another take, because you messed up the line by not saying the line. And they very reluctantly did 3 more takes of the final shot. And it was very difficult because when the camera pans leftward and goes into the yellow metal thing, there needs to be smoke. The PA bought a pack of incense and they started burning it, and ashes were everywhere. But there was genuinely smoke. It was actually pretty impressive. I don't need to do CGI smoke now because there's actual smoke. But the thing is, there's a focus issue between the kids and the metal thing. If it's an autofocus, it starts focus hunting and it looks ugly as fuck. If it's manual focus, it's difficult because there's no follow focus. So Chunhua used ashes and his own fingers to mark my lens. So not only is my lens in danger of getting wet after the rain, even though it's not like we just let it outside, but there's still raindrops, Now my lens has ashes on it too. My camera is totally fucked. And for some reason, I think maybe bits of ashes were on my lens, like on the front element. Maybe it was on the sensor. But whenever we switch lenses, Chunhua faces the sensor upwards to the sky, which is a huge no-go. But because everyone's tired, I didn't comment much on it. But whenever I and Chunhua switch lens for my camera, the sensor was facing the sky, which is terrible. So maybe dust fell onto the sensor. I gave Chunhua my lens blower, and he didn't touch the lens, the sensor, but he was like, quack, 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 quack. And it was like, that was not how I was taught. I was, with something as delicate as a sensor, I was like, slowly, We tried it, but the frame still looks weird. Maybe it's lens flares, but also I've never seen lens flare this strong in my camera. There must be some kind of dust issue or ash from the incense. So we're fixing it. As we're fixing it, the kids get impatient again. Lewis didn't take it seriously, so the other boy, Hugo, pushed him around and was like, hey, if you don't take it serious, we don't actually get to go home. We did one more take very, very, very reluctantly, and then we finally ended. And oh my god, it was so tiring. It was practically dying. I was sweaty, tired, and I didn't expect it because last night I was like 9 shots, 9 hours, 9 shots. With kids, every shot will require 1,000,000 takes. And also, I'm the kind of director who likes adding shots here and there because it looks nice. That complicated things for sure. But yeah, oh my god. Right after, so the boys immediately left. They left on their own. Like, we didn't guide them downstairs and bring them back to the train station. The boys just left. And I feel bad because I don't like tiring the boys, but we literally filmed, we didn't even start filming at 9, but let's say call time was 9 a.m. and then we ended at 6 p.m. pretty punctually. A few minutes before 6 p.m. That's less than 9 hours. That's not a 12-hour shoot. Even though it's 9 hours, it felt like 20 hours. The boys, they were very, very tired and exhausted. One of them was even, Hugo was like, I'm not coming back tomorrow. I'm gonna pretend to be sick. I'm gonna have gastric flu. And then I tried to entice them. Oh, but if you don't come tomorrow, I won't give you money. Money is involved. And he's like, oh no, but my grandma said we won't receive any money. And I'm like, no, money is involved. So now I'm kind of scared. This is like, I hate this term, but these child actors, these kinds of actors are like, use it and then discard them. Use them and discard them. Because they'll work with you for one day. It's going to be a hellish experience and then they'll never work with you again. But the material we got for that one day is critical. The issue is that I still need them tomorrow. What if they bail? Because they're too tired today. And they're kids. I don't want to tire them and I feel bad. And I should have abandoned them after day one. Because it's likely they won't ever work for me again. Because I'm a tyrant of a director, I guess. But I already went real easy on them. So I'm actually low-key scared that they won't come back tomorrow. That would be insane. So hopefully that doesn't happen. So me, the PA, AD guy, Chunhua, Natalie, we all left. And I said, thank you everyone, all that stuff. And then I said to Natalie, oh, some Fusai is like, you're tired, And then I said, oh, even though you didn't do much today. And I meant it in a nice way because I want to involve her more because she's desperate to find film sets in Hong Kong. And I know she wants to do films not because of money, but because she wants the experience and she wants to do something meaningful. And I felt a little bad today because I invited Natalie to help out on my short film just for her to sit and bench for 75 to 80% of the time. I feel a little bad, but that came off mean. It was like, oh, thank you for nothing, you did nothing. And all 3 other people, the 80 guy, the PA, and Chunhua, they all laughed. And I was smiling, and A, I'm tired, B, I'm bad at Chinese, and I don't know proper manners, and C, that's not what I mean. And Natalie's like, yeah, I know what you mean, but oh fuck, not another fuck up. I know it's a small moment, and I know they'll forget about it at some point, but it just didn't land well, and I'm like, fine, see you tomorrow. So yeah, the good thing though is tomorrow the call time is going to be later. It's not going to be 9 a.m. It's going to be 1 p.m. But it's it's so we have more time to rest, but I don't know. I have a sneaky feeling that one or maybe both of the boys will not come back. Because today was already too tiring. But that's the shit. That's the thing, man. I did 12 hours back to back 5 days in a row for ends and means. Like, come on, you know? And I know I'm like a young adult and they're kids, but like, it's not that bad. I really squeezed every last drop of passion and excitement from them, telling them, oh, it's the last shot, oh, it's the, you know, don't worry, this is the most important shot, don't worry, this is great. I even tried to like positive reinforcement. I learned this operant conditioning. It's psychology. If I compliment the kids, maybe they'll do better in the next shot. So I complimented them. Before filming the last shot, I was like, hey, you guys did well. It was really hot today, but you two did amazing, you know. And then both the boys were like, okay, I know you're just tat high, which is like licking our boots, like or brushing our boots, like you're trying to, you know, you're complimenting for fake, you know. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. It's like I tried everything to make the boys happy. Immediately after the boys left, I went up to the 80 guy and I was like, hey, do you think I should bring in their parent or my mom tomorrow? And the 80 guy's like, I don't think that's a good idea, because while they're very difficult to control, at least they're in their element. But Jesus Christ, I feel like I ruined the boys' lives today. But the upside to everything was that despite the difficulty of the shoot today, I feel like I'm at a point in my directing quote-unquote career that I'm willing to go an extra step to get the right shot. Back in, you know, Dreams of an Empty Street, maybe even Cloud Busting, I would cut corners. I would be like, oh, well, I can't do this shot the way I wanted to, but this is the best we can get, I guess. And, you know, time limit and everyone's tired, so, you know. But today, I prioritize art. So even though it was like sweaty and stinky and it's two boys and it's annoying and it's a nuisance and it's exhausting and we're filming nothing but long takes and wide shots and everything feels meaningless, the end result, I believe, is beautiful. And it didn't feel like it when we shot those shots, but when I edited and color graded with Cliff, I'm confident that this shit is award worthy. In fact, there is a slight chance that this may even do better than Love and Death. Like, I think the more I think about The World Is Not Enough, the more I realize that this film is even more emotional and personal than Love and Death, and in many ways more beautiful and impactful. So maybe this will be a masterpiece. But I don't like calling my own short films masterpiece, because there are flaws. There are flaws today. Some of the shots, not even the best take we got. We don't even have a great take, but, you know, it is what it is. So hopefully those two boys come back tomorrow. Yeah. Also, Chunhua. I showed Chunhua Love and Death. No, I showed Chunhua Objects in Mirror. And he was like, oh, the color grading is amazing. And I'm like, oh yeah, my friend is great, Cliff. So, high hopes for Cliff. But, yeah. Ultimately, though, I need to compliment myself because I filmed 2 gigantic short films in the year. And I call it gigantic, but it's like a 2-day shoot and a 3-day shoot. But to me, Objects in Mirror and The World Is Not Enough is like huge. Like, not only of importance, but also of like competence. Like, I'm actually not doing this for fun only. This is for art. 2 short films in 1 year. Mamma mia. That's like Jurassic Park and Schindler's List. Objects in Mirror and The World Is Not Enough. Jurassic Park and Schindler's List. Come on. Okay, time now is 11:07 after 11:07 a.m. on August 7th. We are 10 days away from departure, guys. 10 days. Yes. Bruh moment. Yeah, so, slept from 2:55 a.m. to, 10, and then I was like, fuck it, I gotta go back to bed. And then I ended up actually waking up, or like leaving bed at 10:50. But yeah, 2:55, that's insanely early. I actually tried to finish watching The Sword of Doom, the film, last night, because I couldn't finish it 2 nights ago. But I just can't because it keeps buffering, and also I was falling asleep at the movie. I couldn't watch it, so I guess I gotta finish it today. So I wanted to wake up earlier this morning because I wanted to finish it. So yeah, and I also want to film an album review, as if it's just a regular day, you know. But today's no regular day because it's the world is not enough day 2. Last night I was low-key scared that the 2 kids will not come back because I was really insecure. But this morning, actually, the Hugo said okay last night, and then this morning Louis said yes. So hopefully they do show up. Yeah. Also, I was going through the footage, and I realized the cool metal lotus shot, it felt out of focus, and the panning was rough, and I would hate to use that in my film. So we may reshoot that shot, just that one shot, we may reshoot it. But this time, instead of using a tripod, maybe we'll just use a gimbal to do it, if that's possible. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else to add. Hopefully today's filming goes well. Honestly, today's filming is gonna be simpler, but then again, I can't say too soon because we're dealing with a couple of very rebellious children here who, I don't know, can turn anything simple into anything difficult. Yeah, the night scene where we have to do a lot of dialogues, that's gonna be tough. But, yeah. But the other scenes, the one at the mall, and then, the reshoots, not reshoot, but like the gimbal shots, the one at Thailand, they should be very fast and they should be very fun. So let's keep it like that, okay? And tomorrow is going to be the tough one, but also tomorrow we're not dealing with kids. But tomorrow we have a lot of shots to cover. Also, Natalie has to leave after 6 p.m. because I'm too far away from where she lives. So, yeah, but otherwise, everything's okay, everything's in order. I charged everything, and I think all of the shots I got are pretty beautiful, except for that lotus shot, that metal lotus shot. So, yeah, I want to reshoot that. And that's it. I also DM'd Ariel last night about a festival circuit thing, and she actually responded this morning, and I haven't looked at what she said because I'm scared. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Good luck to me.
佢哋做緊咩㗎？陣間
冇，你就咁上去啫。
？OK。
你傾下偈咯，望下咯。
我唔要兄弟。
見到雪。 冇所謂，所以 up to you 啫。
俾啲嘢俾佢先。
好，
有冇飯㗎？
冇。
哦，
三個。
你要唔要同你冇啊？
菠蘿
啊，你唔要啊？
你可以嘅，可以換嘅，冇所謂㗎。
食一半咯，我話換唔換到啊？
可以㗎，隨便你啊。
喺美國嗰啲 swap 店有冇睇過？你